Hi, Price Team. Adam Ruff here again. This is our second edition of the Stop Waste videos. Again, everybody's been doing a great job with these videos, coming up with the ideas, sparking the ideas, talking about them, having the good conversations with their teams, and trying to eliminate waste and try to make things better, more efficient, make every step worthwhile. So enjoy this week's edition of the Stop Waste videos and keep coming up with the ideas and sending them to me. Enjoy.
A good way to eliminate waste that I've came across is after you get done with a portion of work, say in the rough-in stage of a project, to take a step back from that area and kind of just look around and visualize what the trim out's going to look like. Say some conduits coming out of the ground are a little crooked. Is that going to be a big issue right now? You might not think so, but once concrete's poured and it is at a weird angle, it's going to be a little difficult to get that straightened out and put into a box that you need or anything like that. Pretty much just take a step back and take a second kind of thought on what you just did.
Perfect.
So one waste that I notice a lot on job sites would be wasted movement. Like people moving around, just making trips back and forth to a Connex or clamshell, whatever. If they just wrote down a list and got all the material they need, just list out at once they're going to need for the task, they can run there, grab it all at once, come back, work for a few hours and then repeat. Or if you're going somewhere a little further away or even to the bathroom, if you have other guys working around you, you can say, hey, I'm running to the porta potty real quick. Anyone need anything from clamshell while I'm over there, or Connex? Or if you're running to the supply house, you can, make sure you get a list of what everybody needs and plan ahead a little bit so you don't have to waste as much time going back and forth and all that fun stuff.
Perfect. Thank you.
So out here at Fairway, we noticed the apprentices having to come to me a lot more for what they're doing next, because it's all drawn up in my notebook. So we got a whiteboard and I fill that out with who's working together, what tasks they're doing all day. So that way they don't have to come to me every time they get something done. They can look at that whiteboard, they know where to go next. Yeah. And it's eliminated a lot of questions they have for me, which allows me to get more stuff done. And then it's also got a section where they can write down what materials we're running low on. So I know when I go to place an order at lunch or at the end of the day, what we need to get without them having to come find me. Then I have to go write it down and hope I don't forget.
Yeah.
And it's also got another spot on there where they can write down, hey, while we were doing this, we ran into a lot of issues with other people's stuff in the way, or it's cold outside, what can we do to eliminate some of that? And it's eliminated a lot of time for our morning huddles. It's eliminated time throughout the day.
Perfect. Thank you. Dude.
So we've been up at this job site for about a year now, and one of the biggest wastes that I see is when parts and pieces come in from whether it's an integrator or a supply house. The parts and pieces get thrown around. You know that they're here. You don't know where they are. You don't know what they are. And when they come in, something that we've been doing is going through the submittal process, figuring out what each part and piece is, putting a label on the box. And if you don't need that part right away, we like to organize it in a way that you can find it later on so everybody knows where it is. That way it's not on the job site getting kicked around by you or another trade. It gets lost and then you know what you have. Another big thing I could say would be if you have a lot of, let's say, lights or the same parts and pieces. If you have a pallet laying around, it's nice to put everything on a pallet. That way, when another contractor says, hey, can you move your stuff, you can just grab a pallet jack and then get it out of the way.
Perfect.
So something that we did to eliminate waste on this job site was that for the pipe run, for these coolers, we had 2 people do it instead of 1. It just saves time and makes things more consistent, and you get in a flow of working instead of having one person just do it all. Then you can have one person on the ground bending it and giving you supplies while the other person's giving you measurements and stuff. And yeah, that's the way that we eliminate waste on this job site.
So a waste that I encountered on this job, Elk Run wastewater treatment, was when my foreman Sam went on vacation about a month and a half ago. He was gone for a week. He asked our PM for a couple guys to come up and help me for that week, and during that week they sent a couple guys who had never been on an industrial job site before. So I found that, when I was asked what a waste was that I encountered, I thought that was kind of a waste, just because instead of getting guys who had been doing this kind of work before, I was kind of spending more time showing them how to do little things such as threading pipe or pulling wire through conduit, or things that they might not seem like a big deal to a lot of guys, but when it comes to someone who's never done it before, it's something that you need to teach them. So that way it's not material waste or labor waste or just anything. So I tried to go, the way I tried to fix that waste was making a plan on my notebook for, okay, what can I have these two guys do? I need to make sure they have the right material to do it, and then going through like a little training session almost to make sure that they know how to do it, and then I can double check on them to make sure they're doing it correctly, and not having problems along the way. So
Perfect. Thank you.
Verbatim, we're installing some lights in the Bay Area, and first thing we did was try to fab everything up in the air. It took a lot of time, so we came up with the idea to prefab the lights as much as we could down on the ground, and then install them up in the beam. It eliminated a lot of the time to prefab them on the lift, and then we don't have that much room on the lift. It's pretty congested in the area already as it is. So we have a little workstation, got all our material, and one guy is prefabbing the lights down here, and another guy is roping the lights and mounting the boxes and the J boxes up on the beams. We got another guy that's pulling the wire for them. So we got 3 things going on at once, and it's working out pretty well.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of the Stop Waste videos. They all did great, just going out there, having fun, talking with these guys about what are the ways, how can we come up with ways to eliminate them, trying to implement people and their teams having the conversations that every day, everything you're doing, asking yourself the question, how can we make this better? Talking with your team, having the good communication is always going to be the key to this. Just going through our daily routines and not assessing what we're doing and if it's adding any value or if we can make it any better, that's where we're going to lose out. So, have the conversations, be thinking, challenge yourselves. So again, you guys got ideas? You guys want to make your own videos? You want me to help you? Keep coming them in. This has been fun for me. I've heard a lot of great feedback from everybody who likes watching the videos, actually seeing our people out in the field talk. We can do this stuff in the office as well, having these videos too. I'd like to make some videos of some office people here coming up here soon too. So be thinking of ideas. Love to share them with everybody. And thanks for watching again.